What's up YouTube? It's the Vintage Cube Chef back with another arena high-powered draft. As a reminder, we're playing traditional draft. That means best of 3 matches with sideboarding goodness. So let's jump right in and see how we do. Let's get this draft going with something good. Something good, something good, something good. This pack's not bad. It's just not crazy. Definitely doesn't have power. Couple considerations I think that are good. Dismember's great as a pack one pick one because it just goes in any deck, right? Obviously playing in black means it doesn't hurt as much to cast sometimes, but colorless removal, instant speed, 1 mana, kind of amazing. Solitude's good. I think mono white's a lot worse than it was, but white-based strategies are still strong. Solitude is a good reason to get into it. I think personally, I'm going to take Dismember here. I like staying open, and Solitude not only is a white card, so it's already a color, but it wants you to have a bunch of white cards in your deck, and it doesn't really go in every white deck, so even if you are in white, it's not really like as versatile. Dismember is going to make my deck no matter what I do, and it's going to be a great card in my deck no matter what I do. Well, now we have some real choices here. Shieldred being black, being a strong creature, definitely a consideration. There's Path to Exile and Oust, but now I actually kind of want to avoid white because I think in the pack we just passed, there's nothing better than Solitude. I'm going to say with pretty high confidence that whoever I just passed to took a white card, right? Or took that Solitude. So I don't really want to be fighting with them for white. Shieldred is probably better. I think it's very close in power level to Dak Faden. Dak Faden's 1 less mana, but 1 more color. Shieldred's going to make my deck combos. Like, we could be in a wheel deck. There's a lot of things we could do there. And see, look, now we're getting Snapcaster Mage. I'm going to grab a Snapcaster Mage. No question here. Snapcaster Dismember's good, right? That's easy. But also, Shieldred wants us to be playing a lot of blue cards. There's a lot of blue cards it synergizes with, namely the wheels, but also it wants you to draw cards, and blue cards draw cards. And then if I'm not taking Snapcaster, what am I taking here? Subtlety is probably the next best card, which is also blue, and it's just worse than Snapcaster. Magda's not bad. I think it's perfectly acceptable, and we obviously are trying to avoid white, because I think that makes sense. Scrubland's good, but once again, we're kind of trying to avoid white. I think Snapcaster's a pretty easy pickup here. And now we're getting Time Spiral. Remand is also very real, but I want to be in the wheel deck with what we're doing here. And Time Spiral is a great payoff for that. Kind of control the game, play a Shieldred, play Time Spiral maybe with protection up, and then just kind of win. Remand and Jace are both good. I don't think either will wheel, but Fairy Mastermind and Virtue both could wheel, and I would play either. So I'm going to take Time Spiral here. It's the most powerful card, and be pretty happy about it. And now we're getting a Daze. That's a great way to protect Shieldred or to protect Time Spiral after we've cast it. Talisman's decent, but it's blue-white Talisman, and we have more blue-white everything. And Treasure Cruise is very okay. I like having at least one way to use the graveyard, but that's not really the card I'm specifically trying to pull. Now, Vivi's quite the card. But the problem is Inquisition's just about as good. Inquisition is so impactful on turn 1 in these formats, taking away a piece of power if you're on the play and just kind of keeping your opponent off of early counter magic and early plays that you can't deal with. It's one of the best reasons to play black is how much early interaction you have access to. And now I'm getting a Barrogoyf. I think Gobin's fine. 1/1, attacks, can't be blocked, connives, draw discard, blah blah blah. Very okay. I think Jace is good. Oko being here is interesting. Oko's so good. It's one of the best reasons to play blue-green, but Barrogoyf's one of the best reasons to play black. So looking like we're like a blue-black tempo kind of deck, and Abhorrent Oculus really does a lot in these type of strategies. You fill the graveyard pretty quickly, and then you cast Abhorrent Oculus, and the game becomes defined around if and when they're able to remove it. Memory Jar, I don't know if we're the best Memory Jar deck. With Shieldred, it's pretty decent, and it fills the graveyard pretty well for the Abhorrent Oculus. I kind of want to take the Mana Confluence for mana, protection, or Leovold as another draw 7 Punisher. We already have the Time Spiral, and Memory Jar is very slow. I think I'm going to take Leovold here and just go all in on like the draw 7 strategies maybe. Well, I say that, and then I'm wheeling Dak Faden, making me want to be Grixis, but there's a Xander's Lounge if I wanted to be Grixis. I don't know, Dak Faden's so strong. It's really good with Shieldred. You can make your opponent draw 2 cards and lose 4 life that way as well, kind of out of nowhere. Yeah, alright, so I don't know if I'm going to be blue-black, or blue-black-red, or blue-black-green, but I'm going to take the cards that enable all of that. Redirect Lightning's a big maybe. I don't like Restless Ridgeline, and I'm never playing an Explorer. Redirect Lightning's good in a sideboard, and we are playing best of 3. Profs as a way to draw and then do things with the mana, pretty decent. Generous Plunderer is not bad. We use the mana better than our opponents with some of our bigger plays, but I think Coalition Relic's the card I want here. We can get a little bit of acceleration. Coalition Relic will be great. I'll take Triplicate Titan. There's a world where we have combos and stuff that we want that for. So we're very clearly blue-black. And then we're building around like what we could be with it. We have a really clear win condition strategy in Shieldred Time Spiral and or just tempoing out the game with Barrowgoyf and Abhorrent Oculus. Botanical Sanctum is very real. We could play that to play Leovold. And Stomping Ground for the double splash, red-green. That's pretty fun. Alright, let's see what we opened here. Mox Opal is not power for us, that's for sure. We're pretty far away from that. As much as I'd like to take a Narset, there's a lot of really good cards in this pack for us. So first and foremost, for lands, there's an Arid Mesa. If we end up in red, that will help a ton. And there's nothing really else we'd consider. Oh, there's a Bayou for black-green. Pretty far away from what we're doing. Pest Infestation's amazing. Emperor of Bones is amazing. Memory Lapse is amazing. And Minx and Boot is so good. It's absurd. We have like... We do have the ability to play a Minx and Boot. We have a Stomping Ground already. Botanical Sanctum. And then we're already looking at being like a Leovold Dak Faden deck. So maybe we're a couple more colors here. But the other option is I just take like Pest Infestation. I just say I'm green. Pest Infestation's very strong. It's great with Snapcaster Mage too. I don't know. I think I'm going to go against Pest Infestation here. If we can play this Minx and Boo, it's so much better than Pest Infestation. Holy moly, we're getting past Mox Ruby and the One Ring? What on earth? I mean, I'm taking Mox Ruby here. And so someone's getting a third pick ring, which is just nuts. Which means someone's going to get a fourth pick in Tomb if they want it. This pack must have been crazy. They obviously took a piece of power out of it. There's no reason not to when you have power or one of the best non-power cards in the cube in the One Ring. Second time we've seen the One Ring with power in the pack, but Ruby's great. It also makes it easier to splash for like Minx and Boo and things. And now we're getting Hole Breacher as another draw 7 Punisher. Yeah, that's kind of amazing. We're pretty far from Flash. We don't really have anything to do with it. But it gives us another way to be a Punisher on draw 7s. And then we're going to wheel something great from this pack, right? Cards we want. Library, Shieldred Zedic, Undercity Sewers, Stock Up, Chromatic Star, Bone Shards, Trinket Mage. So we are wheeling something because someone's taking this Flash. And very likely someone's taking Normalize. This card's very good. But we'll take the Hole Breacher here. Hole Breacher can kind of just win a game out of nowhere. And cards that can kind of just win a game out of nowhere, it turns out, are pretty good. Phantasmal Image has been pretty decent. We can Phantasmal Image for a couple good things, like a second Snapcaster, a second Hole Breacher, second Barrowgoyf, second Abhorrent Oculus, if we can resolve them. And then when our opponent has it, it's good. I like it better in Expressive Iteration because we're going to be splashing red. And I don't want a red-green tapped land. I don't think we have better than that already. I do want at least one good fetch. That's going to be pretty important here, but green right now, fetch gets Stomping Ground exactly. I could take a Triome in green-black. I could take Starting Town. Cryptic's pretty hard for us to cast. I think this is a Starting Town deck. It taps for anything early, and then the late game you just can tap it for colorless or for the one color you're fixing for. It's pretty nice. Oh wow, there's a Force of Negation here and a Mana Leak, both of which are very good in this type of deck. But Misty Rainforest is so important. It already gets green and red, and then it would get blue naturally. I think I have to take Misty here. Yeah, I think I have to take Fixing to be able to play our powerful cards confidently. We're seeing like everything that has white in it, which is very annoying. Birds of Paradise, not great when we're intending to play exactly two green cards and they're both combo cards. Fiery Islet, not the most exciting for us. Blue-black tapped land that can be fetched off Misty's probably the move. Planisphere is very good. I think it's actually really good, but once again, I'm thinking we really need the fixing at this point. We have a very solid deck already, and being able to play our spells is now my concern. We have a Verge for green-blue, but it taps for blue base. It's pretty good. So like, let's put cards in. So I think this is a dedicated sideboard card. I think we play everything else. I think we're definitely playing Coalition Relic right now. So our curve's looking a little heavy. So blue-red Talisman could be pretty good in our deck. Yeah, I'll take the Talisman. A non-fetchable land is a little bit less exciting. Yeah, and we knew we were wheeling something crazy from this pack. So our options are a fetch that gets red, untapped, or Rafine's Tower. Pretty decent. A black-green dual land, Pest Infestation, Emperor of Bones, or Memory Lapse. This pack is crazy. I think it's gotta be Memory Lapse. We need a little bit of interaction, and it's gonna go a long way for us. Blue-black is fetchable off Misty, so now we have untapped black. All right, we're pulling this together here. We're pulling our lands together. Remember, we have a whole nother pack, right? So that's one of the reasons I'm prioritizing lands here, is you're always going to have access to a lot of powerful cards. What you need is a way to make sure you're able to cast those powerful cards effectively if you're playing a lot of colors. So what would be great? Obviously, power is amazing. This is a deck that can really well utilize Black Lotus. It can really well utilize a lot of the other pieces of power. I'm never playing Amped Raptor. A red-black or a red-green dual land. We already have a lot of tap lands now. I'm still going to take the land over nothing, though. And here, Osation might be better. Yeah, it might be better than the duel. I don't want to play base green. I could sideboard and Mind Collapse in if I need to. Fast Bond last card. All right, nobody's doing that combo. Well, we got power off of it getting past us, but we didn't open any ourselves. So what does that mean that we want from this pack? This pack's kind of gross, actually. It's not really what we want. Nadu's fine. It's just a good card, and it just kind of adds to our plethora of really strong threes. Um, so the game plan essentially being of like playing a tapped land on turn one, turn two playing something interactive, and then turn three playing just the three drop that is problematic for our opponent. That's kind of our game plan. It's a little slow, but it is going to be pretty strong. I like Nadu a lot, so I'm pretty happy taking it. Force of Will helps that game plan a lot, having a free way to interact with our opponent on turn 0 or turn 1. We have a pretty large number of blue cards. Keep in mind all these blue X cards are blue for Force of Will. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blue cards we can exile with it, and free counterspells are pretty important. Not even anything really in consideration in this pack other than that. Maybe a land. Third pick here, we have a Retrofitter. Retrofitter's good. We don't use it very well, but it is just good. Next best card for us is like Grist or Zagoth Triumph. I like Zagoth Triumph over an off-color Triumph, so I think we're just going to one-to-one replace it. We already have a deck of playables, so I'm not too worried about that, and none of these cards are very exciting. I'll just take an on-color Triumph. Whoa. Well, that's a choice. Mind Twist can just win the game out of nowhere. Like you're on like turn 3 or 4, and you played like a talisman, and then you just have your opponent discard their whole hand, and they just lose, right? Toxic Deluge, though, is an amazing way to interact with the board and kind of reset things. But the problem is we're kind of a creaturey strategy, right? Like I want to be playing a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of games where we're going to play nothing on turns 1 and 2. Our opponent went first, and then on turn 3 we just Toxic Deluge and reset everything. But I think Mind Twist has the capacity to be a lot better in our deck. I don't think Deluge will wheel, but I think it's too good of a pickup to not take. And now Spell Pierce over Underground Sea. See, now that we've committed all those picks to taking good mana, I feel much better taking a Spell Pierce here over the Underground Sea, since we already have 2 of the Underground Seas in Watery Grave and Undercity Stewards. So now I can just really easily pick up a Spell Pierce. Dark Ritual, Ragavan, a Johnny, 6 pick. Swords, Ajani, Dark Ritual, and Ragavan. That's crazy. This pack is crazy. Dark Ritualing out Shieldred or Barrogoyf is very powerful. Other than that, it also helps us get to an early time spiral, but that's not necessarily the best. Problem is Dark Ritual is just so much more powerful than Ragavan in our deck. We're very rarely going to be able to play a turn 1 Ragavan, and we're not built to be able to, remove the things that people put in front of the Ragavan and do all that. Dark Confident or Dark Confidant when I have a 6 and 5 and 2 4s and a lot of 3s. Not bad in our deck. I think Bitter Triumph is better though as a way to remove Planeswalkers. We don't have a lot of ways to remove Planeswalkers right now. Correction, we have no way to remove a Planeswalker. And Bitter Triumph does a lot in that category. This could be a Manamorphose deck. I would love to run a Fiery Confluence though. And our mana is good enough, right? So we have Stomping Ground, Starting Town. Double red's pretty hard for us. Yeah, maybe it is just Manamorphose. Being able to filter and move through our deck a little bit. This is our opening pack. It's still not exciting. I'm going to pretty happily, though, take a Kolaghan's Command for the sideboard. Little hate card for a couple different types of decks. We're getting a free Taiga. Deal. Let's both our splash colors. Red-White Talisman or Regrowth? I guess I'll just take Regrowth. I'm not playing a Red-White Talisman. Green-Blue. I'll take Fresh Start. I don't hate the Restless Vine stock, but it's another tapped land, and we already have a lot of tapped lands. Fresh Start's been a pretty decent removal spell a lot of the time. I'll sideboard it in matchups where it's especially great. I'll throw Sparrow's Headquarters in the sideboard. I cannot believe there's a 14th pick of Johnny in this draft. That's not right. And a 15th pick Reprieve. What are we doing? I guess I should have been white from the beginning, but I don't know. White didn't feel particularly super open. I don't know. This is a pretty easy cut. We cut 1 land here because Ruby's a land and our deck doesn't think it is, but it is. We do need to make sure that we'd rather play all of these lands, but I think the deck is the deck. None of these cards are making my main board. And Jetmir's Garden and Sparrow's Headquarters are the weakest of the triomes because we want a blue-black triome at its base. In terms of non-blue-black pips in our entire deck, right? There's every non-blue-black pip in our whole deck. So we want to always have blue-black. And then sometimes we need red, green, whatever, and we can get that off of our dual lands and etc. So lands that tap for at least blue or black are kind of a free roll. We're just replacing a basic that way. So the 2 blue-black lands are, of course, actually blue-black lands, right? Red-green lands are interesting because they don't help us with our blue-black pips, but they're both our splash colors. In a way, they're kind of worse, though, because like for Dak Faden, we need red and green. And Label, we need blue, black, and green. I don't know, that's an interesting consideration. Maybe I cut one of those. Zagoff Triumph is blue, black, and green, so this just is like a dual land with a bonus. Ravine's Tower is just blue, black. Why am I running a Rafine's Tower? Yeah, that's probably the cut for our land. So then we go to, says I'm at 41 cards. Oh, did it add another land in after I did that? 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, it added a basic in. Please don't do that, deck. So we recut the basic. Please put me at 40. Blue black, Botanical Sanctum's a free roll. Zagoff Triumph's a free roll. Misty Rainforest gets everything. Yeah, seems pretty good. So here's our deck. It's a blue black based deck with some splashy, powerful cards. One piece of power in Mox Ruby, and a whole bunch of ways to win the game. I mean, our deck's going to struggle not to win the game. So let's run it up and see how we do. Before I do that, if you've enjoyed the draft so far, I'd really appreciate if you subscribed. Only about 1/4 of the people who watch my videos are subscribed. So we're trying to get to 100 subscribers by Valentine's Day. So if you're not already subscribed, that'd be super awesome. But let's get out of all that and just jump into the game. Game 1 facing Iroh. I will choose to be on the play. One lander. I'd love to keep it. If this had one more land, I'm slamming this, right? Turn 1, hold up Spell Pierce. Turn 2, do anything else I want, but can't keep a 1-lander. This is a pretty good 2-lander. Or, this is a pretty good mold of 6. I'm going to cut a land. I'm going to put back a land here and then do fetching things. I do need to be really careful about what land I put back because Minx-Gambu needs red and green. So I can't put back like Boseiju and then not go get a land that taps for green. So just gotta keep that in mind. But I think we'll be fine. I'm gonna put back Boseiju, by the way. That's definitely the card I don't want here. We keep 6. Boseiju goes away. And we play a fetch and pass. I'll probably go get a Triumph. My blue, black, green Triumph. So what do I want to draw? I would love to draw Daze. I would love to draw any of my early counter magic. That's a Soul Ring. I'd love to draw Dak Faden. Dak would be pretty good here. Yeah, we have to go get Zayoff Triumph, make sure that we can get our colors. Force of Will. Yes, please. Phantasmal Image isn't doing a lot on this board. But we can Force of Will a problematic card like that. Alright, that buys us a turn. But this is a deck that was absolutely built around Soul Ring. And you're playing Essica's Chariot. So we can charge up the Coalition Relic and then maybe be able to hold up Memory Lapse with our Minx-Gambu. I love seeing them do that with a Soul Ring in play. If that's the best thing they can do here, we're in business. Put a charge counter on it. If you're not familiar with how this card works, it's a mana dork, but then you can put a charge counter on it at the beginning of your first main phase. You get to remove a charge counter to add a color. So it can kind of tap for 2 in 1 turn. So we're going to have Memory Lapse to protect our Minx-Gambu here. Let's see what they're getting. Could be they're just getting their like tapped land now, because it looks like I'm not doing much else. Oh, was this Shauna's Tidebinder? No, I think I want you to have to do that next turn. And make a choice between getting rid of the 4/4 Boo. Take action. Alright, you want to get rid of the 4/4 Boo or Minx? They still have 1 colorless. Is this a Dismember? Nope. Alright, they didn't want to cycle. I assume that means they have one of the 1-mana cyclers in hand, and I put them in a pickle with that. Bowmasters. Recurring Nightmare with Avatar Kyoshi in the graveyard. Okay. Yikes. Looks like we're facing a graveyard deck, and that's the game. They get to Earthbend 8 next turn for 16. Okay. Well, that kind of felt like it came out of nowhere. They played Recurring Nightmare, right? Oh, let me see it. Why can't I see in their hand? Yeah, they played Recurring Nightmare. So Redirect Lightning actually could be really good because one of the funny things about Redirect Lightning is you can use it to redirect an ability. So when they Nightmare to return a target creature from their graveyard to their hand, we can choose a different creature from their graveyard for them if they have one. I don't think I think Redirect Lightning and Kolaghan's Command have to come in. Spell Pierce should be really good. Inquisition should be really good. Their Mind Twist should be really good. What comes out? Could be Relic. Could be Oculus. Oculus might be a little slow against what they're trying to do. And then kind of want to take out Relic, but it's really good with Redirect Lightning. Yeah, I'm going to take out Relic, though, to replace a 3 with a 3 for Kolaghan's Command. Alright, that's the deck. Yikes. Kiyoshi really put on the work there. It's just so much damage so fast. That's crazy. It's an 8/8 haste if they have an untapped land after they animate it. So it makes your animate essentially kind of cost 1 more, but you're swinging for 8 at the turns it comes down. Kiyoshi has hexproof on your turn. That's a pretty big reanimate target. I actually commented in my review of this set of this cube and the updates they made that they added Boomy, and it was kind of weird because they didn't really have a lot of land animation outside of Kiyoshi. And Kiyoshi's 8 mana, right? So she's not really castable, but it kind of still kind of like goes hand in hand of like if you're reanimating Kiyoshi, when are you playing Boomy, right? Like, is that really ever happening? He's kind of just a beater, which is nothing wrong with, right? He's a 5 mana 9/8 or whatever. So I will play first. Yeah. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Turn 1, be able to hold up Redirect Lightning just in case they do crazy stuff, and then turn 2, Dark Ritual out probably the Barrowglyph over the... I don't even need a Dark Ritual it out. I can just play turn 1, Mox Ruby, Undercity Sewers, hold up Redirect Lightning, turn 2, Barrowglyph, turn 3, Shieldred. I like it. By an untapped Black Source, I would just turn 1 Barrowglyph, but no one's really thinking about their hands here. It seems like they're doing a kind of weird strategy, so like a Reanimator hybrid-y kind of thing, so it's possible that the hands they're going to have to decide whether or not they want to keep aren't as clear. Alright, we're mulliganing. Oh, I need to change that festive fighter thing. I just did it to get the 1,000 experience. Alright, let's see what we're working with on top. Mana Morphos putting an instant in the graveyard next turn, maybe changing what I do. I can turn black into other things with Mana Morphos. It's actually not a bad draw. I can turn black off of Dark Ritual into other colors. So like, let's say I draw Minxkin Boo, I can now like Dark Ritual out Minxkin Boo or whatever instead of doing what I was gonna do. But this turn I'm just gonna play a 0/1 Barrowglyph. Oh, they have an Orcish Bowmasters. That's actually kind of terrible, huh? Alright, I guess I have to Mana Morphos first, so that there's at least something in the graveyard for Barrowglyph. And then we will add red, green in case we draw exactly Minxcamboo, and we're just still going to play the Baraglyph. But now the Baraglyph is a 1-2, so it doesn't die to Orcish Bowmasters, which would have been devastating. Also, Bowmasters with Redirect Lightning, pretty bad, because we can have the trigger for Bowmasters target itself. At least I do believe. And Bozayshu is a pretty good draw. We can't destroy their forest, but I'm not destroying their Shield of the Dread, the Dead. Here, oh, well, I'm definitely just gonna go to combat, play a Shieldred. They have nothing in the graveyard, so I don't feel too concerned about going shields down. They have something though. Let's see what we do here. We mill one, land makes it bigger, and then we just slam a Shieldred. They could have a pitch spell here, but yeah, I figured it was a cycler. Hey, they make generous. They make my Baraglyph bigger. Cool. For Overgrown Tomb, I'm not too worried if they choose to reanimate the generous end. It's not really a threat. Oh, their own Baraglyph. Alright. It's a little annoying, but the Baraglyphs trade, which I think I want to do. I'll play a fetch, but we already have a land in the graveyard. And I'm just going to offer a trade either way. They want it. They can trade off Baraglyphs, or they can take the Shieldred off the board. Both are kind of a bummer for them. So they take no damage this way, because Baraglyph gains 3. I still gain 3, but then I get to mill, hit all lands. Awesome. I didn't want lands, so that's kind of okay. And then we'll fetch, and we're holding up full cost Redirect Lightning and technically Bozayshu. If they try to like tempo out a Recurring Nightmare here. I will fetch on your end step. We already went and got our land that does that, but I do want a land that actually taps for red. So I'll just have this enter tapped over getting the Triome. Another land, really? We've drawn so many lands this game. Yeah, take action. Still not hit a creature. This is crazy. Although Time Spiral in the graveyard's now a sorcery, I guess. Play a tap starting town and say go. This is frustrating. We're running out of creatures to, like, cards to even hit that aren't creatures, right? Creature or Planeswalker? Oh, it's just creature. So we can't put Minxcamboo or Dak into our hand. Don't love that. Yeah, we flooded out super hard here. Looks like they're maybe flooding out also. Snapcaster Mage for Dismember or Manamorphose? Maybe. We can also do Time Twister, but I'm not feeling like that's the move right now. Well, now it probably is with a Leovold. I'm just going to play Bozayshu as a land here in case they have interaction. And now I have Leovold protection. I love it. And now Snapcaster for Time Twister is amazing. But it has to be on my turn because it's a sorcery. We're just hard casting Atraxa. I don't have Remand in my graveyard, because of course not. Okay. Yeah, we just have to let that happen. And hope they don't hit a force. I guess I can just Snapcaster Time Twister, right? Sephiroth? What? What is this deck? This is such an interesting deck. They take Sephiroth, Recurring Nightmare. Yeah, this is all fine. I will absolutely offer a trade. Because I don't want Atraxa in the graveyard. And I'm perfectly fine with milling 6 here. Well, I guess I'm time twistering either way, right? I guess I could hit something better. Sure, I have a Hull Breacher now. So I'm gonna Dark Ritual, and then use Dark Ritual mana, and then target Time Spiral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So I can't play Hull Breacher, but I have a Leovold in play. I would not like to leave up my Mox. Why does it want to leave up? It really doesn't want me to pay the life when I'm at 37, really. And then we just Time Spiral. And I untap all my lands. And I guess I'll Phantasmal Image for a Sephiroth of my own. Yeah, you're not winning from their opponent. I agree. Okay. Game 3 on the draw. I think it's going to be a real problem, but this seems like the deck. This is going to be a tough matchup. They have some pretty difficult creatures for us to deal with if they reanimate, but it doesn't seem like they actually have a lot of reanimates. They may just be ramping more, and then they have the Recurring Nightmare. Recurring Nightmare is interesting because it requires them to have a creature on the board. The way Recurring Nightmare works is you play it as an enchantment, and then you sacrifice a creature and return the Recurring Nightmare to your hand, and then return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you need creatures in play and the Recurring Nightmare in play. So you can either counter the Recurring Nightmare or just not let them have creatures on the board to sacrifice. Although that's a lot harder because they can play creatures on their turn. But that was a good game. We had a lot of early pressure, and then we both kind of flooded, it seems like. I would love a keepable hand. Maybe with a Mox in it, if I could be so lucky. Hey, keepable hand with a Mox in it, if I could be so lucky. Turn 2 turn 1 holding up Memory Lapse, turn 2 holding up Memory Lapse if we didn't use it, and then Hull Breachering on end step if we don't. Delighted Halfling. Well, that makes Memory Lapse a lot worse, but still very okay. There's a lot of non-legendary cards in their deck. Namely and importantly, Recurring Nightmare. Utopia Sprawl? It's only for legendaries. Sure. I'm gonna go get my green-red land, I guess, so that I have all the colors. I'm just gonna play an island this turn. And if they have an instant speed something, so be it. And now I have Hull Breacher up. Is this Orcish Bowmasters? It is Orcish Bowmasters. Alright, that's fine. I will keep that in mind for Time Spiral, but I'm actually kind of glad to see it. I mean, they can't flash it in on Time Spiral things. A little harder for us to actually remove, but that's its own question. Oh no. Making infinite copies of Orcish Bowmasters? That's really bad. Okay, well now we need removal yesterday. Force of Will is removal. Absolutely it is. Okay. That is a breath of fresh air. So what do we Force of Will? Force of Will Hull Breacher, I guess? We only have the one wheel and we have multiple ways to use the wheel. Sorry, we have multiple ways to prevent them from drawing. I don't know, I don't think Hull Breacher does anything here. They didn't even attack. Yeah, they're worried. Well, we need to draw real cards, but if they're not going to attack because they're worried, that's really good for me. And now I have a Spell Pierce. That's legendary. Okay. This looks like I have lost. They've just drawn stuff, and we've drawn not stuff. Yeah. I don't know how we beat this. We're going to draw another land here, so it doesn't matter. Oh, Daze? Cool. So we can't even cast Time Spiral? Awesome. Well, we give it a good run, but this is a terrible, terrible draw for us. And they didn't even draw particularly well either with their weird little hybrid Soul Ring Reanimate deck, but they didn't need to when we drew like this. Oh, wow. I mean, no, we're dead on board even if we kill the Chariot. No, we're not dead on board if we kill the Chariot, I guess. Assuming they play no creatures. Uh-huh. And then we kill the Chariot in response to going to combat. We take 5 down to 2. We can't Time Spiral because we're both missing a blue and they have an Orcish Bowmasters in play. So I guess we should have exiled Time Spiral, but what would a Hull Breacher have done on this board? Okay, thanks deck. Well, we're starting 0-1. That's a frustrating one. Our deck's better than this. We didn't draw well, we didn't see what we needed to see, and that's all she wrote. I mean, that second game was completely dominant. But, alright, into game 2. Alright, on the draw, Dark Ritual with a Mind Twist. Yeah, seems pretty good. That's a next turn thing, though. So we play a tapped land and we're holding up Daze. Okay, so if I don't Daze, I play land, Dark Ritual, use 2 mana of the Dark Ritual, or use a mana of the Dark Ritual and the blue in play to Snapcaster Mage, and I'm left with 2 black floating, and then I use 1 of it to Dark Ritual, and I have 4. Yeah, I should just Daze this. I was trying to do the math if I could Mind Twist their whole hand next turn. I'm 2 cards short, so I'd rather just take a turn off and replay Watery Grave tapped. Or, yeah, next turn we can just Dark Ritual Mind Twist. It's pretty good. Oh, come on. Really? Alright. Into Atraxa? Really? This is absurd. I guess we should have done it last turn and not dazed the bird. How did I know they were going to slam a channel? We can make them discard a decent proportion of their hand, but this is lame. 1 turn off. Both ways. Yeah, and they have all the colors. And now an Atraxa. And now a Nexus, so they can play Battlesphere for free next turn. Oh, they still have Channel up. Right. Okay. Good job, opponent. Welcome to Vintage Cube, people. Sometimes they just have it. And wasn't much we could have done there. Kolaghan's command is great. Redirect Lightning is pretty terrible. Mind Collapse is pretty terrible. Fresh Start's pretty terrible. They're going to be a pretty slow deck unless they have exactly Channel. So Coalition feels pretty fine. Spell Pierce is amazing. Daze can be amazing. Phantasmal is pretty good when they have big things like that. Once again, Oculus just feels way too slow. Ugh. All right. Well, being on the play would help. If we had been on the play this last game, we would have won. Spell Pierce is amazing. It's a snap keep. And we can even Spell Pierce and then Snapcaster Spell Pierce. I'm just going to play a tap land here. Oh, that's pretty great for us, huh? We saw no counter magic from them. So it's possible we want to play Coalition Relic here and hold up Spell Pierce that way. But I think I'd rather wait a turn. Just gonna do it this way and play Hull Breacher. No thanks. Yeah, definitely not. I don't feel like cycling Manamorphose, so I won't. You can't make me. I don't love playing this as a creature, but I think I have to. And we're just gonna pass with Hull Breacher up and Snapcaster Spell Pierce up. Alright, let's just slam a Hull Breacher then. Land is amazing. Because now I can play this. I'm holding up all the mana. We can we can charge counter Coalition Relic if we need to. Or if we want to. Mind Twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. So I can try and discard their whole hand. I think I don't want to. I think I only want to do it for a portion of their hand. In case they needed this second green for channel. Well, they needed the second green for channel. Spell Pierce doesn't even do it. Yeah, they didn't have a counterspell for Hull Breacher, which is pretty crazy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's discard everything but one card for them. See what they got. Oh, they did have channel. They didn't have double green. Alright, let's see what their last card they kept is. They have sneak attack and channel. They got a land at least. Is it... Oh. Heal 3. Sure. Guess I'll Manamorphose. I have nothing else to do. Getting green black, I guess. I don't know. Oh, hey, that's actually pretty great. Because Dak Faden can get rid of some of these cards I don't really need. Kolaghan Command. Return target creature for the... Yeah, I don't need Dark Ritual. I do want the Taiga, though. Oh, I can't actually Snapcaster for... I see. I still want the Taiga, I think. I think Snapcaster's looking pretty whatever at this point. I think I'd rather have Bitter Triumph and Kolaghan's command available. Oh yeah, this game's over. You don't want to reanimate the thing. Deal 2 damage to any target, return a creature. I want Hull Breacher. 2 damage to you. Because now I can play Hull Breacher and Dak them, and then they just basically, they don't draw with 2 cards, I make 2 treasures, and yeah, so it's pretty good. So now I get to Dak them. They try to draw 2 cards, and they don't, and I just get 2 treasures from it. So now Dak says make 2 treasures. Cool. I can cycle Zagoth Triumph. I can use Bitter Triumph. This game seems pretty closed. Another land. Put a charge counter. Well, we're pretty good on lands at this point. Make 2 more treasures. I want to kill this Restless Ridgeline when they animate it to block. Takes them off green. Or take them off red. Oh, they can't animate it. They don't have red. Funny. Well, I guess the attack is pretty free then. I don't think so. Yeah. Alright, game 3 again. We went to game 3 of our last opponent. Seems pretty good again. I don't really see a way we do something different here. We could play Fast Bond to try to just have earlier starts, but still pretty bad in our deck. Force of Will is pretty great. Daze is pretty great. Spell Pierce, Dark Ritual for a big creature, like Shieldred or Barrowglyph would be good. There's a lot of opening hands I'm snap keeping. All of them revolve around us just having a couple of mana, though. Let's see if we can get there. Turn 2 Dismember, and we have an Undercity Sewers. Channel, Sneak Attack. Yeah. I'll keep this. They mulliganed. Blue-red is great, because it means they can't channel on turn 2. And I'm not going to keep up Dismember here. Time Spiral is too slow. We have to get rid of it, even though it's our only way to draw 7. We can always Snapcaster it, but Strip Mine. Oh, that's right. We saw Crucible. All right, I'm about it. I play Island then, and I'm holding up Daze. You don't even know it. Starting town for Talisman. I'm holding up Daze. Play a Crucible. Try. Oh, no Crucible? That's really good for me here. If I try Manamorphose here into something? No, I'm just gonna keep my mana up. A 4th mana does not do a ton. Oh, it does actually. It means I can play 2 2s. Alright. Arwen Mortal Queen. Arrows of an indestructible counter, but we can just dismember that. Resolve. Has to end step, so I'm gonna Manamorphose for black. And then dismember paying black, so I don't have to pay life. So I don't want to pay life. I have Dark Ritual. Could eventually matter. I'm gonna hit lands though. K command also can eventually matter. We need to find a creature, but we have Daze. Can't Daze that. They don't have the red. We don't have anything. And now we get the memory lapse. Yuck. Well, looks like we lose again, just by drawing all interaction, but not the right interaction. We have a Bitter Triumph for this Atraxa, so it doesn't hit us, but they still get to Atraxa. Oh. World Spine Worm. That's terrible for us. Okay. I'm going to discard Daze, I guess. I can't do anything about this. They get 3 5/5s. And then I get to copy one of them. I actually really want them to redraw this because it's a dead draw. So we basically get to guarantee they're not drawing a real card next turn. If you think about it. Alright, we need a real draw here. Hull Breacher. That's a real draw. Okay, deck. Let's go. I would like a 5/5. So we're going to take 10 Oh, I see. Okay, I can prevent. I know they only have Fast Bond in hand, but this prevents them from drawing. Pass. I get to do this. I go to 8. Force of Will. Interesting, interesting, interesting. This just, with Hullbreacher out, this makes me a treasure every turn, but I think I need to get back Phantasmal Image, and so I'm going to just destroy the Nexus of Becoming while I'm at it. It's just safer. And it means I'm going shields down on a Force of Will for 1 turn. But as long as I can't block this turn. As long as I draw a real creature this coming turn, I'm fine. Crucible for Strip Mine, sure. I can't do anything to stop that. Alright, we have 1 turn to draw a real creature. Like, if we draw, oh, they take all of our mana. Okay. 0-2. Gosh dang it. This deck is so good, and we're just drawing, like, all of our interaction and none of our abilities to win the game. Like, this deck has frickin' Dak, Minxkimbu, and Shieldred, and Barrogoyf. Like, we have so many ways to just draw a card, and it's like, oh, and this game just turned on ahead. And instead, we just drew, like, land, daze, land, Kolaghan's Command when we have no creatures in graveyard, Phantasmal Image when there's no creatures on the board. Like, ugh, what are you gonna do? Alright, round 3. Just trying to salvage this draft now. A little disappointed, but what are you gonna do? Can't win them all. Oh yeah, we have Nadu as well. That's a pretty good card. On the draw, I'll play a Taiga, hold up Memory Lapse, and then play Nadu, I guess. Ugh. Terrible draw. You don't want to take damage? Alright. You just trade damage. 2-3 for 2. No. You can put that back. Draw that next turn. Sure. I'm playing Coalition Relic. Taking a turn off. We know they have a Nettlesys, which I'm not too afraid of when they have no other artifacts in play. If that was their best thing they could do on 3, I'm not too worried. I want to be able to play Minxkimbu. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now you don't want to trade damage. Oh, I forgot to charge the Relic. Yuck. That's pretty lame. That's fine. I just play Minxkimbu here. I guess I should play around Mana Tithe. Take action. Make it a 4-4. Say go. Minxkimbu is legendary. I could Phantasmal Image for a Sea Soul, but I don't really want a Sea Soul. I think it's a very whatever card. The One Ring? Alright. It's pretty good. I hope they just hold up using it, because I'll just Hullbreacher it. Okay. Oh, I forgot to use frickin' the Coalition Relic again. I do not want to put a charge counter, thank you very much. But I am going to play a Nadu. And I'll put 3 1 more counters on Boo and trigger Nadu. Free land. Next. End turn, and now we're holding up Hullbreacher. They didn't activate it? You just don't want a card? Why are you so against gaining life? Or drawing cards? Sure. Go get an equipment. The best equipment is... Oh, the Cauldron. Okay. Well, I don't even want to use the Coalition Relic because I want to hold up the mana. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. You lose 2 life here. You're gonna die. You're actually dead. Okay. You have a 5/4 Cloud. Are they just straight up dead? Well, now they are. So I'm gonna just flash this in. So we attack with Boo and then throw the Boo. Decline. As throwing the Boo costs 2. I can even blow up the Nettle Cyst to make it cheaper. So we attack with everybody. They take 7, 8, 9. Well, I guess they could prevent 4 this way. So they take 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or 7, 8, 9. They lose 1 to the ring. Yeah. So I just go to combat. I swing with the team. Cloud doesn't have lifelink. And then I throw Boo. Okay. I mean, I might as well do this. Because then they trade. There's no reason not to, I guess. Just in case of shenanigans, but I do believe there's no shenanigans to have here. Yeah, you can surveil. Hit you for 10. You go to 6. And then I throw Boo. Deal 7 to your face. Oh, and draw 7 as well, you know, just casually. Alright. On to game 2. Really weird choices from our opponent. They have a good number of artifacts, so Kolaghan's command seems good. Opponent Oculus, I'm hating in this deck. So it's coming out. Fresh start? Could be good. It's good against Cauldron. A couple other cards as well. What's not very good against them? Dack's amazing. Relic was pretty good. Bitter Triumph's going to be great. Phantasmal Image is pretty whatever against them, I think. Alright. Let's run it. On the draw this time again. As we've been for all the games. Not how we wanted this draft to go, but Tiss's Vintage Cube. Ooh, turn 1 Dark Ritual. Not really what I want to do, but pretty good later. We can use Dark Ritual to make it into other things. Oh my goodness. And now we have a Ruby. I can play a turn 2 Leovold off of Manamorphose. Ragavan. Well, now Leovold seems really good. Doesn't it? Yeah, so we use the black and the red, and we make sure we get green, blue, and then we just drop Leovold, paying the colors. Leovold replaces himself even if they have an instant speed, or if they have a way to remove him right away here. I'd love for them to just play land One Ring. Although I guess they wouldn't really want to do that with a Leovold in play, right? Dark Confidant, sure. Let me just play Ragavan. If you do that, I'm just mind twisting your hand, and feels pretty over, doesn't it? Unlicensed hearse cracking the treasure. You have 4 cards in hand. So even if I don't draw a land, I can make them discard their whole hand. Seems pretty nice. And we even drew a land. I do think I want to get every card though, so I'll use the Dark Ritual here. They don't know that I'm not holding up something. And we could draw something. They could target Leovold, we draw off of it, and then we hit Spell Pierce. But they're going to need this Dark Confidant to do a lot. Land is good in theory, but when you have no cards in hand, not really what you want to draw. And we're setting up Hull Breacher Dak Faden now, with Memory Lapse to protect it. Sure. I'm going to take that eventually. But here, I'm just going to hold up Hull Breachering. Eventually, this starts hurting them, right? Ooh. Maybe they just slam that. Oh, do I Memory Lapse it? Let's see what happens when they target it. I think I'd rather play Hull Breacher. I get a land, or I get a card here. The land, sure. Pass. They could crew to do 1 more damage, but then they can't exile things with the hearse. Imagine they had a card draw spell here, and now they can cast it, they think. Although it seems like they're just exiling, sure. And now I get the Hull Breacher. Yeah, it seems pretty good. So we Hull Breacher on my turn here. I untap, I play a Misty, I play Dak. I tap her down and I steal the hearse so it can't attack me. I pass. Another land keeps them healthy, but not what they want to draw. I can't believe they didn't attack. I actually just pass, holding up or keeping up my protection spells. And I don't know if they know how this works, so let's see if they do. They just lose their hand. Yeah. Alright, well that last round was pretty easy, but oh, this deck had so much more potential. It just didn't really go our way. This is the nature of Vintage Cube. You don't get a lot of chances for even good decks to draw well. I don't think this is the best deck we're going to have in this format, certainly. But it should have done a little better. If I had done this again, I probably would have taken Abhorrent Calculus just out of the deck to start. We sideboarded it out every game. It just didn't feel good. I don't think I filled the graveyard fast enough. I should have had either K Command or Redirect Lightning or Fresh Start in its place, at least to start. But yeah, overall, a really solid deck. We have Mox Ruby, Dark Ritual, and Mind Twist. Good interaction and some pretty win the gamey cards. It just didn't really come together. We had a lot of games where we drew like all of our interaction and our opponents just didn't do anything. Like that against that sneak attack deck, they passed the turn like 4 times when we could have countered or removed anything. And then they played finally stuff when we couldn't actually counter it in a way where we actually couldn't counter it. So a little bit of a bummer, but on to the next one is how we will shake it off and roll. It was still a fun draft. And if you've enjoyed this, really appreciate if you liked and subscribed. But more important than that, I look forward to seeing you on the next one. See ya!